from an undisclosed location. Actually, bring it closer though.
Now we're downstairs.
Huh?
Now we're the downstairs.
Yeah, now we're downstairs. We're in another musalla, in case people are asking why the change of scenery. So we're in the downstairs musalla because we need to save on electricity nowadays. Plus, this place is cooler. We go upstairs and we pray upstairs, and it's 100 degrees when we get up there, and we have to wait. We have to wait like an hour or 2 hours, and then it's like 80 degrees. But here, mashallah, nicer, right? All right. Where's your book at? You didn't bring it. Sayara.
No, it's over there. I put it over there.
Oh. Wallahi, Ibn and a book. It'll just be like, my book's gone. They won't say anything, man. Just be quiet about it. They're like, where's your book? I don't know. And not even think like, I need to look for it. Where did it go? Alhamdulillah. I'm more concerned than you, huh? All right, so now we're on, where are we? Where's your book? So we're on, what's going on in there?
It seems the audio works.
Bab, we're on the chapter 68. Bab Shikayati al-Jar. Shikaya, it comes from the word what? Shaka. Alright. Which means what? Yeah, it comes from the verb shaka. Shikawa, shikaya.
Like the complaint of the
to
neighbor.
complain, yeah. Complaining about your neighbors. If you have complaints about your neighbors, like what do you do when your neighbor's constantly causing you problems and doing bad things and just causing you harm and annoying you? So this, I mean, of course, this was a situation in the time of the Prophet, which we'll talk about, inshallah. The first hadith is authentic. The second one, not so much so. The third one is even worse, but all of them are supported by the first one. So just so you can go ahead and have that in your mind as we go along, inshallah. All right, so the first hadith, number 124. Hadathana Ali ibn Abdullah. All right, who is Ali ibn Abdullah? Nobody. Al-Madini.
Oh, Ali ibn Abdullah.
Ali ibn Abdullah al-Madini, which is the Sheikh. He's the Sheikh of Bukhari, he's the Sheikh of Imam Ahmed, he's the Sheikh of Allah, he's the Sheikh of the Sheikhs. Alright, he's the Sheikh of the Sheikhs. And they say about Ali ibn al-Madini, what? Rahimahullah, that his Sheikhs benefited from him before his students started benefiting from him. Imagine that. Imagine like that's the type of individual. His level of knowledge was at the point where his teachers benefited from him before his students benefited from him. Before he started teaching, his teachers were already benefiting from him. So that's Ali ibn Madini. He's an imam. And of course, because he's from the Shuyukh of Bukhari, you see he's narrating. It's not very common that you're going to see narrations of from Ali ibn Madini. So this is a beautiful day. Didn't start off so beautiful, but alhamdulillah, it's a nice way to end it. Alright, so حدثنا علي بن عبد الله رحمه الله قال حدثنا صفوان بن عيسى قال حدثنا محمد بن عجلان. Alright, and we've taken Muhammad ibn Ajlan not too long ago. We said that Muhammad ibn Ajlan is a da'if if he narrates from who? He's saduq, which means this hadith is accepted, which means that this hadith is going to be hasan. But he's da'if if he narrates from who? Sa'id al-Maqburi. If he narrates from Sa'id al-Maqburi, then his narration is not accepted. But there was a hadith that we took that he narrated from Sa'id al-Maqburi, and the hadith was sahih. So what is going on with that? The hadith that we took in Adab al-Mufrad, and I explained that whenever he narrates from Sa'id al-Maqburi, that the hadith is da'if, but it wasn't. Why?
Before, was it Sayyid Mufrad isn't he the one that he started losing his knowledge at the end of his life for?
All right, so I said that narration was accepted because he, mutaba'ah. Like the ulama, they went and they followed the different chains of narration of that specific hadith.
أنا شخص يجي اسمه غير مايك.
No. And so he like because of the, they went and they followed up on the hadith and they saw it and they realized it, they saw that it was sahih. But in general, if Muhammad ibn Ajlan narrates from Sa'id al-Maqburi, the hadith is rejected. All right, and he narrated this hadith, Hadathana Abi. Who's his father?
Oh wow!
What?
Even now we have anaconda fingers.
It's just another person to block tomorrow. So Ajlan. All right, so we got what? Muhammad ibn Ajlan, his father is Ajlan Mawla Fatima bint Utbah. Alright, that's his father. His father Ajlan Mawla Fatima bint Utbah. Alright, so he's the one that narrated this. And Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu قال رجل يا رسول الله إن لي جارا يؤذيني فقال انطلق فأخرج متاعك إلى الطريق فانطلق فأخرج متاعه فاجتمع الناس عليه فقالوا ما شأنك قال لي جار يؤذيني فذكرت للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال انطلق فأخرج متاعك إلى طريق فجعلوا يقولون اللهم لعنه اللهم اخزيه فبلغه فأتاه فقال ارجع إلى منزلك فوالله لا أؤذيك. So this chain of narration is Hasan. It's Hasan because of what? Muhammad ibn Ajlan is Saduq. So the narration is what? The Abu Hurairah, he said that a man came he said, "O Messenger of Allah, I have a neighbor and he harms me." So he said, "Intalaq." What does intalaq mean?
Does it mean like get away from me?
No.
Leave.
No, it means to go out and do that. Like intalaq فأخرج متاعك إلى طريق. So go out and take all your stuff and put it in the pathways. All the stuff in your house and just put it in the street. Alright. So he said, فَانْطَلَقَ فَأَخْرَجَ مَتَاعَهُ. So he went and he put his stuff out in the path. So the people, فَاجْتَمَعَ النَّاسُ عَلَيْهِ. So the people, they came and they saw what he was doing. So they're asking, like, مَا شَأْنُكَ? Like, what's going on with you? Why are you putting all your stuff out in the street? He said, قَالَ لِي جَارٌ يُؤْذِينِي. I have a neighbor who harms me. And I mentioned this to the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, go and take all your stuff and put it in the path. So then the people began to say, Allahumma al'anhu. May Allah curse him. Allahumma akhzihi. May Allah disgrace him. فَبَلَغَهُ. So all the people started making dua. And then this reached the neighbor. فَبَلَغَهُ فَأَتَاهُ. And then he came to him. فَقَالَ إِرْجِعْ إِلَى مَنْزِلِكَ. Go back to your house. فَوَاللَّهِ لَا أُؤْذِيكَ. Go back to your house because I won't bring you any more harm. So it worked, right? Like I said, this is an issue. This is an instant, like something that happened in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. So does that mean that right now, if we have a problem with our neighbor, that we're going to go and put our stuff out in the path, in the street?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, number one, if you put your stuff out in the street on the west side, it's going to get taken. The people are going to think that you're just putting it out there so anybody that wants it takes it. That's number one. Number two, it's not going to do anything. The neighbor's just going to call the police and say this guy's, throwing all this stuff out in the pathways and littering. So it's not, so you got to look at the maslahah, the maslahah. This was the advice of the Prophet ﷺ to the person. Why? Because he knew that it would work in the situation, in the scenario that he was in. Well, like I said, you can't. That doesn't mean that you go and you do the same thing now and just take the stuff out, because we're not living amongst the same type of people who are concerned about this. People making dua on the neighbors, most of the neighbors that we have are what? Kufar. So it's not gonna. What do they care? People running around saying, Allah curse them, and they don't care. So even most of the Muslims nowadays don't even care. So.
Oh, it's some of them that are doing it. Like any little thing, let's say it comes from this, Allah يلعن من أخذ جزمتي, Allah يلعن هذا, Allah يلعن هذا, Allah يلعن هذا. They're the ones that are cursing.
Yeah, we'll get to that whole issue later. Alright, so hadith number 125. حدثنا علي بن الحكيم الأودي قال حدثنا الشريك ابن عبد الله النخعي عن أبي عمر. Alright, Abu Umar is weak. Even Sharik is weak. Sharik is weak because he's got Sayy al-Hifz. But it's not because he's alright, Sharik is not weak because he's not weak because he has a weak memory. Because he was strong in hadith, he was strong in memorization, but he got appointed as being a judge. And because he was a judge and he started becoming busy with the people and busy with the work that he was doing, he couldn't revise a lot. So he got weak in his narrations because of that. But it's not that his memory was weak. He had a very strong memory. But he got busy, with his position. And that's what caused his hadith to start to become rejected. So they say Sayyi'ul Hifz, but it's not that he has a weak memory, but it's not really a weak memory. It's just he forgot a lot because of what? Because of his work, as being a judge. Alright, then we have Abi Umar and Abi Juhayfa radiallahu anhu قال شكى رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And I said Abu Umar, he's majhul. Abu Umar here is al-Munabbihi and Nakha'i. He's majhul. So you got back to back. See, Sharik his hadith is weak, but it's not severely weak. So like I said, because he's an imam, but it's just because he got busy with what he got busy with. All right. So عن أبي جحيفة رضي الله عنه قال شكى رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم جاره فقال احمل متاعك فضعه على طريق فمن مر به يلعنه فجعل كل من مر به يلعنه فجاء إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال ما لقيت من الناس فقال إن لعنة الله فوق لعنتهم ثم قال للذي شكى كفيت أو نحوه. So here we have Abu Juhayfa. He narrated that a man came and complained to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم about his neighbor. So he said, احمل متاعك, carry your things, فضعه على طريق, and put it in the طريق, in the pathway, in the street or whatever. فمن مر به يلعنه, and whoever passes by it, they're going to curse this guy. فجعل كل من مر به يلعنه. So everybody that passed by, they cursed him. So then he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فقال ما لقيت من الناس. He said, this is what what did you get from the people? What happened? فقال إن لعنة الله فوق لعنتهم. He said, verily, the curse of Allah is above their cursing. The fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to curse the person for causing harm to his neighbor is worse than the people cursing him. ثم قال للذي شكى. Then he said to the person who complains, he said, Kufit. It's now sufficed you. It's good. Your situation now is done. أو نحوه. Or he says something similar to that. This hadith, the chain of narration is weak, but it's Hasan because of what?
You said hadith Hasan, or because Abu Umar is majhul?
No, but that's why the chain of narration is weak. But the hadith itself is Hasan. Why?
Because the hadith before supports it.
Because the hadith before it supports it. It's like a little fruit fly, because maybe one of these kids left some food around here. They just came in and shampooed all this carpet yesterday. That's why it looks nice. It smells good in here. You just did this. They just did this last night. The brother that came up this morning, after Fajr, that was the brother. He just shampooed the carpet last night.
What's the money, Abu Hurairah?
Huh?
What's the money, Abu Hurairah?
Who?
What?
Because you're running around with some cats. Yeah. You're not really the Abu Hurairah. I think Majooj is really the Abu Hurairah. Yeah. The cats just ran at you because they thought it's feeding time. Alright, so now the last hadith, 126. حدثنا مخلد ابن مالك قال حدثنا أبو زهير عبد الرحمن ابن مغراء. So there's your ضعيف. Alright, so this guy, no, wait, well, we got a bigger issue, hold on. قال حدثنا الفضل يعني ابن مبشر, and this is the guy that Bukhari, he's ضعيف, and Bukhari just said هو ضعيف, and Bukhari said he's ضعيف, and Bukhari doesn't, for him to say ضعيف, yeah, so that statement came from Hammad, who said this? قال ابن حماد said وذكر أن البخاري قال هذا أنه ضعيف, so yeah, the hadith is ضعيف. Alright, this is الفضل يعني ابن المبشر, فضل ابن مبشر. قال سمعت جابر رضي الله عنه يقول جاء رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستعديه. So a man came to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم يستعديه. What does that mean, يستعديه?
عداوة.
ها؟
عداوة.
يشتكي عداوة جاره. يشتكي عداوة جاره. يستعديه على جاره. He's complaining about the enmity that his neighbor has and the problems that he's causing for him. فبينه قاعد بين الركن والمقام. Alright, obviously, where is that at? الركن والمقام, what?
Mecca?
Yeah.
The Kaaba?
إذ أقبل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ورآه رجل. And he said, and then the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم came and he said, ورآه رجل وهو مقاوم رجلا. And he said that he saw a man, and he said, and he was like a مقاوم. مقاوم رجلا, it means what? It means that he's like, if you say like, قاومه بحاجته, like he's standing up with him. They're standing together because they have some type of hajj, some type of need, something that they're doing together. So they're standing together. So basically he's with another man and they're standing together because there's something that they're doing. عليه ثياب بياض, and he has a white thobe عند المقام حيث يصلون على الجنائز, and then this is where they prayed on the janaiz. فأقبل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال بأبي أنت وأمي. Alright, he said, what does that mean, بأبي أنت وأمي?
I mean, like I'm asking you by...
You can't swear by your
I know,
parents.
that's why I said no.
It's like, may they be like, like giving or sacrifice for you, basically, giving like how do you explain that in English? Let me find a better way to say that in English, inshallah, I won't get back to that. Because nobody says that in English. There was one khatib that used to say that all the time. And he used to always say this in the khutbah. And the brother used to come to this masjid and just to hear the khutbah. It's by my house in Riyadh. He said, man, I just come to hear that, man, because of that. He used to always say this in the khutbah. Yeah. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, man al-rajul alladhi ra'aytu ma'ak, muqawamak. He said, who is the man that I saw standing over there with you? Alayhi thiyabun biyad, and he had white thobe on. Qala ra'ayta? He said, did you see him? Qala na'am. Qala ra'ayta khayran kathiran. Then you've seen a lot of good. That could Jibril Rasul Rabbi. That was Jibril, the messenger of my Lord. Ma zala yusini bil jari hatta dhanantu annahu ja'ilun lahu miratha. So he said he continuously during that time he was telling me, he was informing me about the rights of the neighbor until I thought that he was going to make a portion of the inheritance for him. That he was going to be a person with inherits. Now that part of the hadith is authentic, but the hadith itself is da'if. What does Shaykh Al-Albani say?
ضعيف الإسناد الفضل الضعيف لكن جملة الوصية الجار وبعد قصة الصحيحة.
Yeah, that part of the hadith is sahih. That part is sahih, but the hadith, all the other stuff is da'if. What's going on? Because I told you, I got to open up my phone because you guys, you.
بس يكون يشتغل بالباك جراوند.
What?
بس يكون يشتغل بالباك جراوند.
ايش هو؟
هو يقول يشتغل بالباك جراوند.
I told you we're in an undisclosed location, man. We're in what we're going to call the Masjid al-Aqaba bunker.
We kept saying downstairs, we were downstairs.
Now we are downstairs. We used to be in the musalla upstairs. Now we're in the Musalla
You
down.
want to trade seats on it?
You don't want this comfortable seat? He wants the seat with the Chinese on it.
الزهد في الدنيا.
Huh?
الزهد في الدنيا.
These are the Chinese seats. Because this place used to be a Chinese school. These are the Chinese seats. So that's why you see all the Chinese writing on all the seats.
بدل. He doesn't want to do الزهد anymore.
Oh man, it's still.
Oh, the channel.
No, he's telling you move out, get out the way.
He doesn't want to do الزهد anymore.
For all of y'all, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I gave y'all salams first. Y'all should be saying wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Want me to read?
Go ahead. I'm just trying to look at like who I'm going to be blocking pretty soon.
Can I read questions from Anaconda Fingers?
No,
There you go.
he doesn't ask questions anyways. Anaconda Fingers, when we block you, what are you going to be tomorrow?
Cow fingers.
Cow fingers or is it?
Sheep finger.
Yeah, we just-
Lion finger. Polar bear.
Go ahead, is there any question before we get to this, inshallah?
Or Yemeni cow finger. Someone says, oh wait, من المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين says, what's the way?
You, go keep going reading.
What does it mean for a
You
narrator?
wanna see? You got your little giggling, and me and my son, we got our own little giggling. We'll giggle now. It's our giggling time now. Yeah, go ahead, read the question.
What does it mean for a narrator is Saduq?
It means that he's like, his hadith is Hassan. Like he's not strong enough to be Sahih, and he's not weak enough to be Da'if. So, hadith is Hassan. It's accepted, but it's not strongest. It's not the strongest of narrations.
Zulfiqar Abdul Qadir Khan says, you said in khutbah that if you miss one salah, then you lose all of your good deeds.
Also, so the hadith for Salat al-Asr.
So do you get them back if you pray regularly since then time?
If you make tawbah, inshallah.
ما تحتاج انك تاخد الشهادة من جديد.
Hmm?
ما تحتاج تاخد الشهادة من جديد.
No. And the people, they keep saying this all the time, like, oh, you leave Islam, you come back into Islam for what? With tawbah. You make tawbah, khalas, that's it. You don't have to go back and sit up in the masjid, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah again. You don't have to make a ghusl, you don't have to do it, you just make tawbah. And that's why they talk about the tariq al-salat, used to tab, right? So that means that it's sought that he makes tawbah. If he makes tawbah, khalas, done. They let him go. If he doesn't make tawbah, 4 takbirat. Yeah.
Wait, we wouldn't pray on him.
No. If a person who left off salat,
No, because he said 4 takbirats.
I mean, I'm just saying, he's dead. He's not going to get the 4 takbirat because he died on the state of kufr.
He's panicking in the chat. من المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين says, if a woman...
Is there anybody else to ask questions?
Yeah, there's quite a few. If a woman is coming out of her apartment and her male neighbor is also coming out of his, but right when he sees him, when she sees him, and when he barely sees her, she goes back into her home swiftly, so there's no seclusion. Would that be considered khalwa?
How's a khalwa? She went back into her apartment. Did he go with her?
I'm assuming no.
The only problem is I don't like about being downstairs is what? We can hear the noises on the street,
We can't see.
but we can't see what's going on.
That's why get the cameras out. I was about to say.
No, the cameras are on Mujahid's phone. and that is Mujahid's phone. So we can't see because we're doing a live stream from that phone.
بس اسمع يعني شخص فحت وشرطة.
Huh?
بس اسمع يعني شخص فحت يعني وشرطة.
وشو؟
أنا بس اسمع شخص يفحت وشرطة.
هذا الذي أنا سمعت عليه. Yes, I heard like police siren real fast and somebody driving off. So yeah. We don't know what's going on. We can just hear the sounds. What was the question? Like, I don't get the question.
If if a woman walks out of her apartment and her male neighbor also is coming out, and then the girl walks back in the house swiftly, so she doesn't, so like when he barely sees her, would that be considered khalwa?
No. They're not secluded together anyways. It's just like you walking, if I'm walking down the street and another woman's walking down the street and I walk past this woman, does that mean that we're secluded together? No, because we're in an open area. That doesn't mean you just go walking down the street with a girl, but I'm just saying, that's not, that wasn't my intentions for that anyways. She did what she's supposed to do. And she went back in the apartment or in the house or whatever and got away so the guy can't see her. He's going to think you're crazy, but let him think whatever he wants. Who cares what he thinks, right?
It says, what if it's an apartment hallway?
Like inside.
Like a very, hotels.
Well, you're not hanging out in that. You're moving through it, right?
Mm.
Yeah, if you sit there, it's like hanging out together, chit-chatting alone, and that's now you falling into haram, but you're just coming out your house and leaving. And you're just passing by the person. It's not, you're not being secluded with the person because you're just moving through. These are things like, you can't really help. Like,
You can't avoid it forever.
yeah. It's going to happen. Every time that you see somebody in the hallway, you run back into the apartment. What if you're halfway down the hallway and a dude comes? You run back to the apartment? No, you keep going. Now if you stop and chat and talk, that's a whole nother issue.
We're going to the elevator. Oh yeah, one time someone called me mutshaddid because I wouldn't go in the elevator alone with a girl.
Now that's a whole nother issue. Going to a whole elevator with a girl, that's seclusion.
Because I wouldn't walk in, the elevator opened and there was a girl, and I didn't walk in. They're like, "Oh, why are you being so extreme?" Like, what the?
Now, if you ask one more question from the same person, I'm gonna fire you and I'm gonna start reading questions myself.
No, it's still, I'm going in order because you said we can't ask questions from fingers.
Fingers don't ask questions.
So what?
Yeah, he asked one earlier, but you said we can't ask it. But Iron Mike says, Mike Tyson, what advice and tips would you give someone who is trying to adhere to the Quran, Sunnah, and way of the Salaf, but surrounded by people who engage in acts of disobedience and sins and bid'ah?
Same way that the Prophet ﷺ did it when he was in Mecca. Keep reading the Sirah and see what he had to go through, and you're just going to have to go through the same thing. If you're surrounded by those people and you just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. And keep informing the people and keep advising the people. Then he keep giving dawah in Mecca and the people, insulting them, calling them names and everything, and all he had was the weakest of people amongst them, look at who his followers were. They were weak. And then all the people that had the power were the people that were completely against everything that he stood for, everything that he was calling the people to. So you're going to do the same thing. Follow the path of the prophets.
M.A.
Because, that's just regardless, anywhere you go around this world, unless you're going to be in an actual markaz of Ahl Sunnah, once you leave those markaz, once you leave those places where we're like seeking knowledge, what do you think, we're always going to be? Any city that we go to in this world, this is going to be the situation. In Sana'a, in Yemen, how many Salafi masjids are there? You can count them on like maybe a hand or two. How many Shia masjids, Zaydi masjids, how many Ikhwani masjids, how many Sufi masjids, so we're always going to be outnumbered. We're always going to be the minority. We're always going to have to face all these problems from people. So that's just the reality, That's what we understand. You read the seerah, you see the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You read the lives of the Salaf, and you see all the stuff that they had to go through. Khalas, do the same thing. You have to go through it with them. Yeah.
MA says, can we take from...
What's the ayah from the Quran? أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم مستهم البأساء والضراء وزلزلوا حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله. Allah, إن نصر الله هو قريب. And get that, yeah, man, that thing is annoying. So, and what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? I'm hasabatum. You think, and tadkhulu jannata, that you think that you're going to go into Jannah. وَلَمَّا يَتِكُمْ مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِكُم. And you think that you're going to go to Jannah, and you're not, what befell the people and all the afflictions that they had to go through, that you're not going to go through. That you're not going to have to experience the same thing that they experienced. مَسَّتْهُمُ الْبَأْسَاءُ وَالضَّرَّاءُ. And what does that mean?
It's like an evil.
Well, sickness and fighting and killing and al-darra'u, and you got like poverty, and they went through everything. People trying to kill them, people fighting against them, sickness and trials and tribulations and poverty and all these different things. Was zuzilu, and then their whole foundations were what? Shooken up. Everything that they got, because you live your life, and your life is like smooth sailing, right? You just like, every day. And then all of a sudden now you start practicing your deen. And then everybody starts to change around you. People that were your friends and people that used to smile with you. Now all of a sudden, and they start calling you these names. And it's like your whole dunya just gets flipped upside down. But that's what happened to the people before. So, and then this happened to them until they said, Matat Nasrullah. They were going through so much pain and suffering until they said, when is this help and assistance from Allah going to come? When is it going to arrive? Allah inna nasrullahi qareeb. This victory from Allah, and this help and this assistance is close. You just got to be patient. And the only people that are going to benefit from that are the people who are patient. They go through all these trials and tribulations, and they just remain steadfast and they remain patient. They're going to be the ones that benefit from this. But everybody else, they get, how you say it, they start compromising, they start trying to change, start trying to please these people. These people are never going to be pleased with you. Never going to be pleased. They're going to be pleased when you leave your deen. They're going to be pleased when you start doing what they do. So who cares about these people? You just keep doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Following the sunnah, who cares?
ولن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم.
Oh, his problem right now is not the Yahud with Nasara.
This is a general statement. MA says, can we take from Sheikh Tahir Wyatt?
I don't know anything about him, but all I know about him is that he's been, his whole thing with it. There was a guy he was the one with what was that Yaqeen Institute or whatever.
Oh, Amr Suleiman.
So no, man. Anybody associated with them and defending them, and no.
Trying to justify evolution, all this stuff.
I wouldn't advise anybody to take anything from anybody that has anything to do with them.
MA says, why does your background look different today?
We already spoke about this.
I think he joined late.
Yeah. Go back to the beginning.
Iron Mike says,
this is what the background's going to look like, inshallah, every day, except for Friday. Friday, then we go upstairs. Unless people want to start paying the electricity bill here.
Iron Mike says, should a person who's upon the manhaj and already of the salaf go to a masjid of Ahlul Bid'ah due to the virtues and benefits of the masjid in general? Keep in mind, the individual doesn't have a masjid of Ahlul Sunnah near him.
Yeah, you go to the masjid and you give dawah to the people at the masjid. You're probably going to get banned from it, but that's not your fault. That's their fault.
They're Pakistani.
You go, you do what you got to do. that's the only masjid that you have available to you, yeah, you go to the masjid. You know, and you sit down with the shabab, try to like give them advice and talk to them about the sunnah, teach them about the sunnah. Stay away from those old guys, because those old guys are the ones that cause problems for you.
What is it? The saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I wouldn't call him a dog, he's a Muslim, but
No, just
yeah, that's not a good example.
no, this is a saying, like the ibra.
Yeah.
Wallahi, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna think Eric Von Key, or I think it's like a Russian name. Says, Assalamu alaikum. Is there a tradition where one of the four caliphs prescribed a screen between men and women in prayer?
I don't know.
The
In the time of
resounding.
the Prophet ﷺ, the men used to stay seated. They used to all pray in the same masjid. But the men would stay seated, and while the women would leave. That way to keep the people from mixing, not just mixing in the masjid, but also mixing in the pathways. Because if they all got up to leave, even if they went out from different doors, well, guess what? They're going to be taking the same street home, right? So he'd keep the men there, and the men would stay in the masjid while the women left. And that way it gives the women the time to leave and get going, and the pathways will be empty. But I mean, that wasn't the time of the Prophet ﷺ, but nowadays with the people,
The resounding Zubair says, if you're with people who are backbiting someone, then do you have to leave them or tell them that it's haram? Would you get the sin for it?
you stay there, you get the sin for it. And you don't say anything, then you get the sin for it. You advise them that this is not permissible. They don't listen, then leave. But if you stay there while they're doing it, yeah, for no doubt, you get the sin for it.
Ali says, the issue of speaking about Muslim rulers, even in things that are true about them, or inciting khuruj on them, is it a fiqhi issue or a creedal
I'm sorry,
one?
read the question again, because I'm sitting here busy with this anaconda fingers. Because he's running around talking about, I'm not chicken fingers. Yeah, chicken fingers ain't even here. He's blocked from yesterday. So how does he know even about chicken fingers? You know what I'm saying? He's already telling on himself,
There you
man,
go.
self-snitching. Stop lying, akhi.
Shame.
Seriously, stop lying. We don't like liars here.
Testified against
Now you
himself.
get blocked, akhi, khalas. Anybody with fingers in their name, you're getting blocked. Khalas.
Human fingers. Ali says, the issue of speaking about Muslim rulers, even in things that are true about them, or inciting khuruj on them, is it a fiqhi issue or a creedal one?
Both. And they become both because of what the people, you know, it's a fiqh issue and it's a aqidah issue because the people that went astray with these issues. The same thing as the mashal al-khufayn. Why did it become an issue in aqidah? Why?
Because only people of bid'ah question it.
No, the people that question it, most of it are Rafidah. You know, they don't accept it. They, you know, you have, so certain people they change it. They start to reject these things, and then they become an issue in the aqidah. But the asl of it is what? Fiqh. Yeah.
The resounding Zubair says, is it imitation of non-believers to sit on a table and eat and knives and forks? Like, is it imitating the kuffar if you sit on a table and you eat with knives and forks?
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Sheikh Yahya, when he visited Britain, I think this was like in 2000, and he came back. He went over there and he said, and the biggest thing that he had, the biggest problem that he saw with the people, is that when it came time to eat, they sat at a table and everybody got a plate, and everybody ate by themselves. So he went back to Yemen and he compiled a book. It's 40 hadiths about the virtues of eating together. And he compiled that book because he saw what the people were doing and he disliked it. So, no, I mean, there's no doubt it's taqlid al-kuffar. The Muslims never ate like that. Muslims always ate together.
No, he's saying like with knives and forks.
Like eating at
I
a
mean,
table.
a knife and a fork is not the issue, but sitting at a table, you know, and everybody has a plate and stuff like that. But eating with a knife and a fork is not an issue.
Just going off on your own and eating.
Yeah.
You just go into your room.
No, even just sitting at a table where everybody's got their own plate.
Oh, that's haram?
Huh?
That would be haram.
Just put one plate down and everybody just eat from it. See, that's where the barakah is anyway.
Mm.
And the barakah is in the people eating together.
Al-Jakarti says...
Man, I gotta like sit here, man, because I hear all these noises out here, man. I'm like, I can't point that at y'all, but just in case, man. Because if somebody walks in, I don't want to I don't like surprises, especially after this morning.
Al-Jakarti says, if a person wants to create a channel where brothers and sisters looking to get married can send/submit their profiles, is this person responsible for the aqidah of the submitters?
Can you say that again, please? My attention span is very slow today.
If a
I'm like listening outside and trying to listen to the... Well, go ahead.
If a person wants to create a channel where brothers and sisters looking to get married can send/submit their profiles, is this person responsible for the aqidah of the submitters?
The person who's... Those things, man, I don't know, man. That's a dangerous ground right there. There's so many things that can go wrong in that scenario. So many things. So many things. Like that whole issue right there is better to stay far away from it. Because it's so, how many different sins you can fall into with this online marriage stuff.
I seen one, they give you an option to put your haram to halal ratio, and if you're a smoker or not, and if you wear hijab or not, or if you pray all 5.
Yeah, and see, then what is this doing? This is the
Allowing
people
people
getting
to
out
do
and
that.
announcing their sins. I want a woman who watches cartoons. Like, come on, man. So, and then on top of that, you got so many issues about, like, how is she getting on this website? With whose permission? Does her wali know that she's on this website? And how are you going to stop that from happening? See, all of that, nah. I would stay far away from that stuff. Far away from it. I understand why people do it. It's, maybe they have these good intentions about, because of the difficulties of marriage and everything, but, well, like, when you look at the evil and the sin that can come, it's just too much. It's too much.
من المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين says, how does one deal in that situation? Oh, sorry. Before that, it says, is marriage counseling method to help rectify a marriage? Is marriage counseling method to help rectify a marriage?
Does marriage counseling help to rectify a marriage?
Yes.
I don't know. Most of the times I've seen people go get counseling from the imam ended up causing them to get divorced and married the woman. So I wouldn't.
Really?
I don't know. That's my experience of watching it. I would never take my wife to an imam. So I'm like, let's do some marriage counseling. Allahumma musta'an. Well, for one, the imams aren't qualified for that. If you're talking about actual counseling, and two, you know each other better than anybody else. You can't solve your own problems together. You shouldn't be together. It's the bottom line.
What did Allah say in Surah An-Nisa? He said, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَبَعْثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا.
So to do that, get somebody, one person from his family, one person, because this way, see, you get the individuals from the family. Why? Because they don't have, if you sit down and listen to him and listen to her, what are you going to be listening to? A bunch of emotional yippity yap. He's going to sit here and say, well, she's doing this to me. And she's going to say, well, he's doing this to me. And everybody's just going to be arguing their point of view without looking at who? The other. Like the man's going to get angry. He's going to look at, well, this is what she's doing to me. But he's not focusing on what? What he's doing to her. And she's doing the same. So, yeah, how are you going to solve a problem like that? But you get somebody from the family who's close to the person, knows the person, who can advise them. Why would you go to a stranger to, and tell the stranger your problems? Like this thing that the kuffar do. Well, because kuffar are weird anyways. They do weird stuff. Well, that makes no sense. They will go to a stranger and talk to a stranger and pay the stranger hundreds of dollars an hour and call this therapy or counseling or whatever. For what? You know, you got your family. They know you. They know your personality. Get one person from your family, one person from her family. They can sit down and they can discuss what the solution is because they know both of you. And they're not attached, you know, to what's going on between you. You know, but yeah, get like somebody like that to solve your issues. But as far as going to some stranger, or some imam in the masjid, no, they're not trained for that. They don't know the people like that.
They do that a lot over there.
Yeah, and they probably cause a lot of divorces too.
And a lot of mixing. من المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين says, how does one deal in that situation if that environment is in their own house and they're getting affected in a negative way?
What environment?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I hear laughing.
Hmm?
I hear laughing from.
We'll see if somebody's here.
Take his place. The resounding Zubair says, can I count dhikr on my fingers and tasbih, or is this bid'ah?
You mean count?
Like saying, like just counting the amount of times you do tasbih.
The Prophet ﷺ did it. How's it bid'ah?
No, like outside, like just like, not like adhkar al-sabah or masa or ba'd al-salawat, just like in general.
If you want to do that, do it. But I mean, if it's outside of the regular car, just say it. You know, like you're driving in the car or you're standing there waiting for something and you just say like, you know, Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-azim. You don't need to count it anyways. Just say it as much as you want. Where's free? Huh?
Are we taking Bulugh al-Maram tonight?
No, I'm taking Sahih Muslim.
Al-Jakarti says, should this person only accept it's talking about the marriage counseling. I mean, not the marriage.
I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
Should this person only accept profiles from brothers and sisters who have sound aqidah, even though it can't be guaranteed to be true?
Can't be guaranteed to be true, and then you also still got the wali issue. And these women these girls that are getting on this website posting this stuff, do they have the permission of their wali for doing this? Do they have a wali? Are they lying about that? How could you tell? So, I mean, like I said, if you can sit here and solve all those dangers and keep those dangers from happening, alhamdulillah, but if not, it's better to avoid it.
Anonymous says, Assalamu alaikum, ahsanallahu alaikum, Ustad. If I'm eating chicken fingers and I bite my gum or cheek and it bleeds, do I need to spit it out and rinse water in my mouth and spit it out until the bleeding stops?
Spit out what? The food?
The blood.
The blood or the food?
I mean, the blood's gonna be in the food anyways if it's in your mouth.
Spit it out.
And it would be a major sin to swallow it because you'll be swallowing your blood, right?
No, but it's not. How's it a major sin if it's on accident?
No, if you intentionally swallow the blood from your cheek.
Why would you do that?
No, the hukum, like the ruling of it, it would be a major sin, correct?
If you swallow the blood, if you're bleeding in the mouth and you swallow your blood, how's that a major sin? Yeah, you're not taking the blood and drinking it, are you?
So
it's cut in your mouth. How can you not swallow the blood?
No, like if you have the ability to spit it out, but you intentionally
you're not gonna spit it all out. Regardless, you're gonna swallow blood. If you have a nosebleed, you're gonna swallow blood. That's not what's intended. Intended is the person actually eating blood or the drinking of the blood.
The question, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, says, Barakallahu feekum. The question from earlier about being in a bad environment, how should one deal with that if it's in their own home?
You just gotta do what you gotta do, man. Until you can get out, you have to be patient. I mean, we grew up in the homes of kuffar. I mean, can you get a worse environment than that? You know, imagine growing up in a house full of kuffar and you're the only Muslim in the house. I think you got a nice little environment too, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So it's like, what to do? Be patient. You know, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, that's the point of dua. Like I'm gonna say this again. If your situation's so bad and you're sleeping the whole last third of the night, then your situation's not that bad. Because if your situation was that bad, you'd be waking up in the last third of the night making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gives you a makhraj, gives you an escape from these problems. You know, but if you're not doing that, then your situation is obviously not that bad. Can we get to these hadiths now, inshallah? Alright, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now this is Sahih Muslim. So we have some of the hadith that, put this over. That thing falls on your foot, you ain't gonna be happy.
That's good. Right next to
That
the
thing
bottle.
is extremely, extremely sharp. Extremely sharp.
Right next to the bottle.
No. I want it right where I can grab it. Yeah. Oh, I love that knife. Beautiful, right? You want one of those too, right?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
You don't got one of these though, because this is a fold. This folds. Like, come on. I can conceal this. You can't conceal your knife. That's, you know, come on. We made a video about it, this knife before. Thumbnail. You didn't see the video?
Really?
Yeah. Because I was talking about the Indonesian students of knowledge. But I was like, I don't know why I was holding the knife in the thumbnail. Because it was like, can you guess where this is from or something like that? I can't remember. I don't know. Sajid made the thumbnail, man. I don't know. So he makes those thumbnails. I don't know. But anyways. So, no, it's not from Indonesia. No, it's an Indonesian knife, but it didn't come from Indonesia.
Amazon.
From Amazon, yeah. These are actually famous now in America. Even amongst the special forces now. They love this knife. Why? It's for that concealment purpose. You know, because, you know, to hold it like that, it's just, come on, man, that's just, you know, imagine how dangerous that is, man. You just like, you know, you take out the person's whole cheek with this thing, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is a very, very dangerous, beautiful knife. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This morning, that's what I was joking with my son. I said, see, I had that 12-inch machete with me this morning with the guy. You know, when we came out to the gate, I took the knife, I took that out. I had this with me. I said, see, that would have been more dangerous if I took this out than that machete. Because this thing will just slice and dice you, akhi. You know, you could go to the hospital, you need stitches every part of your, anywhere that knife touched, you're going to need stitches. You know, but that machete is a little bit, you know, you got to chop with it, you know. So, and plus I would have got injured more than, I would have had to go to the hospital with the guy. Why is that? Because I was so stupid. I went and took the machete out and I was holding it in the back of my forearm. Now, why was I doing that? Because if the guy jumped over the gate, I could just, you know, hit him with the forearm. But it's got those razor teeth as a saw, and I didn't focus on that. And I was like, man, I got home and I looked at that thing. I was like, whoa, boy, if I hit that guy with that machete, would have been, it would have sliced my whole arm up. I would have been just as injured as him. So no, this is the, you gotta get one of these, man.
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Mouth open.
Huh? Where is it? But you know you can't conceal that thing, right? Oh, no, you got, oh, mashallah, you got a switchblade one. How you, let me see that. Where you do that?
It just has a strong
It's the same one. How did you do that? Hold on. How did you switch that? How did you do that? We got
the little thing.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
The
No.
first couple of times it didn't do it, but it got like.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When I first got it, I couldn't even get it closed at first.
You didn't know either?
No.
What? I don't even know how I just did that.
The one lesson I didn't bring my own knife.
Yeah, it's the
Everyone's
same knife. We got literally the exact same knife. Yeah, it's the same one. Same company. Ah, you losers, man.
Wait. I think yours is his.
No.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, look, I got fuzz on mine, man.
You have fuzz on yours?
That's mine right there. That's mine.
Fuzz.
No fuzz. Because I keep mine like this, so it keeps picking up like fuzz. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to go home and do this for like an hour or something.
I know, that was me when I first got it. Just,
I did not know that. Did you see that on YouTube or something?
no, I just kept trying it, because at first I did it like 4 or 5 times, and it didn't come out as smooth like that. And then finally it just started.
Akhi, the first time I opened this knife, I opened it, and I was like, all right, how's it going to close? You know, it took me a while to figure that part out, you know, where you got to, oh, that's classic, man. That's classic. All right, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We're going to read Sahih Muslim. All right, so this is going to be Hadith number 2,897. Now, I don't know if this is, like, maybe check, just type in Hadith, Sahih Muslim, Hadith number 2,897. I want to see if the numbering, because this print, this is the Mu'assasatul Risala.
200 and what?
2,897. It's not called an Indonesian knife. It's called a karambat. Jakarta can tell you what it's called.
The conquest of Constantinople,
Constantinople, which is Constantinople, which is
Turkey,
yeah, which is what's that city called now in Turkey?
Istanbul.
Istanbul. All right, Bismillah. All right, so this says, حدثني زهير ibn Harb, حدثنا معلى ibn Mansur, حدثنا سليمان ibn Bilal, حدثنا سحيل عن أبيه عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تقوم الساعة حتى ينزل الروم بالأعماق بدابق. All right, so he said that the hour will not be established until the Romans they come down with the army to this place called بالأعماق. He said بدابق. بدابق is a موضعان بالشام بقرب الحلب. All right, بقرب الحلب, which is Philistine. All right, no, Philistine, Syria, sorry. All right, so لا تقوم الساعة حتى ينزل الروم بالأعماق بدابق فيخرج إليهم جيش من المدينة. So an army from Medina من خيار أهل الأرض يومئذ. So this army, what are y'all Google goggling for? What? Ish?
Your knife.
What's my knife for? So my knife getting all this attention in the chat or something? Or what?
بس يخطئ باسمه.
Huh?
بس الاسم يخطئ فيه.
What?
مختلفين في الاسم.
There's like different names for it though. Yeah, there's different.
I just realized the Min al-Muslimin.
Gotcha.
The Min al-Muslimin, alhamdulillah, they finally put the meme in the name. And al-Aleen. Now it's al-Alameen.
I guess they don't know what the name of the ism is. So it's a karambit. Karambit. But anyway, so back to this. So, all right. So these are the best of all the people. They're coming out of Medina to meet the army of the Romans. And you remember this hadith because I spoke about this yesterday. I touched on it, but we didn't go over this actual hadith. So he said, فَإِذَا تَصَافُوا قَالَتِ الرُّومُ. So when they line up for what? For prayer or what? For battle, man. When they get ready to go to battle. قَالَتِ الرُّومُ. So the Romans say, خَلُّوا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الَّذِينَ سُبُوا مِنَّا نُقَاتِلَهُمْ. He said, they're telling the Romans are going to tell the Muslim army, look, we don't want nothing with you guys, basically. Just let us get the guys who shed the blood of our soldiers, and so we can kill them. That's it. That's all we want. So he said, خلوا بيننا وبين الذين سبوا منا نقاتلهم فيقول المسلمون, and the Muslims will say, لا والله لا نخلي بينكم وبين إخواننا. We're not going to allow you. We're not going to give up our brothers. Never. It's not going to happen. لا والله. So he said, فيقاتلونهم. So then they start to fight. فينهزم ثلث. And then one third of the army is going to be what?
Victorious.
Huh?
Victorious?
Sure.
Defeated.
No, they're going to run away.
فينهزم.
فينهزم. ثلث لا يتوب الله عليهم أبدا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never accept their tawbah ever. Because they ran away. وَيُقْتَلُ ثُلُثُهُم, and 1/3 will be killed. أَفْضَلُ الشُّهَدَاءِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, and these are the best of all martyrs with Allah. وَيَفْتَتِحُ الثُّلُث, and then the other third will defeat this army. They're going to be the ones that remain behind to defeat them. لَا يُفْتَنُونَ أَبَدًا, like they will never face any fitna after this ever. فَيَفْتَتِحُونَ قُسْطَنْطِنِيَّةَ, so they're going to reconquer what? Istanbul. Yeah, this place, Constantinople. فَبَيْنَمَا هُمْ يَقْتَسِمُونَ الْغَنَائِمِ, and at the time that they're, distributing and breaking up the war booty, قَدْ عَلَقُوا سُيُوفَهُمْ بِزَيْتُونَ, and they've hung their swords on olive trees. إِذْ صَاحَ فِيهِمُ الشَّيْطَانِ, and Shaitan yells to them, إِنَّ الْمَسِيحِ قَدْ خَلَفَكُمْ فِي أَهْلِكُمْ فَيَخْرُجُونَ. So he's talking about the Dajjal. He's not talking about the Masih ibn Maryam. He's talking about what? The Dajjal. And this comes in a different narration. He said that he's already beaten you to your families. So they run out. They leave right away. فَيَخْرُجُونَ وَذَلِكَ بَاطِلٌ, but this was a lie. فَإِذَا جَاءُوا الشَّامِ, once they get to Sham, خَرَج. So once they make it to Sham, then the Dajjal will what? He'll emerge. He'll come out. فَبَيْنَمَا هُمْ يُعِدُّونَ لِلْقِتَالِ, and at this time that they're preparing to fight against the army of the Dajjal, يُسَوُّونَ الصُّفُوفَ, and they're preparing their rows. At أُقِيمَةُ الصَّلَاةِ, so it's the time to prepare. فَيَنزِلْ عِيسَى بن Maryam sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and this time that Isa will come down. فَأَمَّهُمْ فَإِذَا رَآهُ, so he said, and he's going to lead them in salat. But we have a different narration where Isa alayhi salam does not lead them in salat, where it's the Mahdi leads them in salat. So it's two different narrations.
Chicken fingers is back. Well, now he's called, I think this is now a turkey patty.
He can't be back now. It's a whole different account.
Oh yeah, like different account.
So he said, I don't want to hear nothing about that stuff, seriously. We're reading the Hadith and y'all are concerned about chicken fingers and turkey patties or whatever. Khalas, leave that. I said, whenever he shows up, just block him. Khalas. He said, إِنَّ الْمَسِيحَ قَدْ خَلَفَكُمْ فِي أَهْلِكُمْ. Alright, we already read that. فَأَمَّهُمْ فَإِذَا رَآهُ عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ. So once Isa goes out, and he said, فَلَمَّا رَآهُ عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ. Who is عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ? No, Dajjal. Yeah, Masih al-Dajjal, yeah. That, كَمَا يَذُوبُ الْمِلْحِ فِي الْمَاءِ. He'll start to like what?
Melt.
He'll start to melt and disintegrate just like salt and water, right? He said, فَلَوْ تَرَكَهُ لَأَنْذَابَ حَتَّى يَحْلِكَ. And he said, if he would just leave him, then he'll just completely melt until he's destroyed. وَلَكِنْ يَقْتُلُهُ اللَّهُ بِيَدِهِ. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kills him by the hand of Isa alayhi salam. فَيُرِيهِمْ دَمَهُ فِي حَرَبَتِهِ. And he's going to show the people his blood on his spear, the spear that he killed him with. So that's the hadith that we keep mentioning over and over and over again. There you got the hadith in its entirety. Another one. I'm telling you, Akhi, I'm serious. You either stop, or I'm just like, seriously, I'm going to keep blocking you, but you keep doing this, Akhi, you're just going to make dua on you, man. Seriously. Well, I'm not into like making dua against a Muslim, but I mean, wallah, you keep interrupting everything and come with this foolishness, Akhi. You can go to some 15-year-old YouTube channel and go do that foolishness over there. But seriously, Akhi, like, that's dua right there. Alright, Bab Iqbal al-Rum fi Katharat al-Qatl and Khuruj al-Dajjal. Alright, so this is another hadith about the same situation, or similar, about the Romans and all the fighting that's going to be taking place at the time of the appearance of the Dajjal. حدثنا أبو بكر بن أبي شيبة وعلي بن حجر كلاهما عن ابن علية ولفظ لابن حجر حدثنا إسماعيل بن إبراهيم عن أيوب عن حميد بن هلال عن أبي قتادة العدوي عن يسير بن جابر قال حاجت ريح حمراء بالكوفة فجاء رجل ليس له حجيرة إلا I don't even know what. Hold on, what's going on here? Look up the hadith and see if this. I don't think this is a typo.
Hadith 2898.
This is 2899. He said, رَجُلٌ لَيْسَ لَهُ حِجِّيرَ إِلَّا. So they said that this means like, شَعَنَهُ وَدَعْبُهُ وَذَلِكَ. This is just how he is. It's how he is. Well, alright, we can just get to the part of the hadith. Ya Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, جاءت الساعة. He said that the hour has been established. قال فقعد وكان متكئا. And he was sitting down. And if he was sitting, وكان متكئ. He was kind of like sitting, but like, leaning over like this, right? فقال إن الساعة لا تقوم حتى لا يقسم ميراث. He said that the hour will not be established until inheritance is not distributed anymore. Alright, ولا يفرح بالغنيمة. And the people will not be excited about the war booty, because that's one of the things that the people, you got to stop eating that food from the restaurant, man.
No, I haven't ate food from the restaurant for more than like 2 days.
You got like a hiccup issue, right? Yeah. All right. So, basically, what's one of the things that the people are going to be excited most about when they defeat an enemy is they get all this stuff now. Now it gets distributed, all this free stuff now, right? It's not really free, but...
Get women.
Well, it was free because you were fighting for the sake of Allah, right? Huh?
So we get the women.
Yeah. And
with the war.
Nowadays, I don't as filthy as these women are, the kuffar can keep them. But, فقال إن الساعة لا تقوم حتى لا يقسم ميراث ولا يفرح بغنيمة ثم قال بيده هكذا ونحاها نحو الشام. And then he pointed with his hand towards Sham. فقال عدو يجمعون لأهل الإسلام. An enemy that's coming, is congregating to fight against the people of Islam. ويجمع لهم أهل الإسلام. And the people of Islam are going to gather together against them. قلت الروم تعني. He said, are the Romans are you speaking about? قال نعم. He said, yes, but تكون عند ذاكم القتال ردة شديدة. All right, and this is going to be, it's going to be like very, 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 very severe killing between them. Very severe killing. فَيَشْتَرِطُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ شُرُطًا. So the Muslims are going to place a condition on themselves. He said, لِلْمَوْتِ. And this condition is for death. لَا تَرَجِعُوا إِلَّا غَالِبَةً. So they either come back, the only way that they're going to come back is what? As being victorious. If not, they just, we die. Or we come back victorious. That's the condition that they place on themselves. So he said, وَلَا تَرَجِعُوا إِلَى غَالِبَةً فَيَقْتَطِلُونَ حَتَّى يَحْجُزَ بَيْنَهُمَ اللَّيْلِ. And they fight and they fight and fight until the night comes upon them. Alright. فَيَفِيءُ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ كُلُّ غَيْرَ غَالِبٍ. So these, they go back to their camp, and them, they go back to their camp, and none of them are victorious at this point. So they didn't fulfill the condition, right? كُلُّ غَيْرَ غَالِبٍ وَتَفْنَعَ الشُّرْطَةِ. So this condition is done. It's over because they didn't get the victory, right? Next day. ثُمَّ يَشْتَرِطُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ شُرُطَةً لِلْمَوْتِ لَا تَرْجِعُوا إِلَّا غَالِبًا. So they said the next day they do the same thing. They place this condition that we either die or we come back victorious, right? فَيَقْتَطِلُونَ حَتَّى يَحْجُزَ بَيْنَهُمَ اللَّيْلِ. Until the night came. So again, the night came. فَيَفِيءُ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ كُلٌّ غَيْرَ غَالِبٍ. And this one goes back to their camp, and they go back to their camp. Again, nobody's victorious. وَتَفْنَعَ الشُّرُطَةِ. And then this condition is finished again. ثُمَّ يَشْتَرِطُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ شُرُطَةً لِلْمَوْتِ. And then the next day, the third day, they do the same thing. The condition, لَا تَرَجِعُوا إِلَى غَالِبَةً. That they're not going to return except for victorious. فَيَقْتَطِلُونَ حَتَّى يُمْسُوا. And they continue fighting until they reach the evening. فَيَفِيءُ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ كُلُّ غَيْرَ غَالِبٍ. And then the same thing. They go back to their camp, nobody's victorious. 3 days of fighting. All day. وَتَفْنَعَ الشُّرُطَ فَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ الرَّابِعِ. Now the fourth day, نَهَدَ إِلَيْهِمْ بَقِيَّةَ أَهْلِ الْإِسْلَامِ. Now the rest of the people from Islam, they stand up and they come forward. The people that are still left, because obviously people are getting killed throughout these days. So now whoever's left over, they come forward. بقية أهل الإسلام فيجعل الله الدبر عليهم. So this is where now the victory is going to come through these last ones, right? فيقتلون مقتلة, and then they're gonna be involved in killing, like the most severe of killing. He said, حتى إن الطائر لا يمر بجنباتهم فما يخلفهم حتى يخر ميتا. That even a bird that's gonna fly over them is gonna fall down dead. This is how severe the killing is gonna be. That even the birds that are flying by, they're gonna get killed in the fighting. You know, hit by an arrow or hit by something, right? So, حتى يخر ميتا فيتعاد بنو الأب. So after all the killing is finished, يتعاد بنو الأب, like the people from the family, they're gonna sit down and count how many of them are left. How many of them are left? كانوا مية. They were at one time, but before the fighting started, 100. فلا يجدونه بقي منهم إلا رجل واحد. But they were not going to find except there's only one man remaining amongst the 100. 99 of them have been killed. He said, فبأي غنيمة يفرح. He said, with this, there's only one person of his family remaining, him. So how is he going to be happy with the ghanima? Because he can't enjoy it. Who's he going to enjoy it with? His family's gone. There's nobody left to enjoy it with, right? He said, فبأي غنيمة يفرح أو أي ميراث يقاسم. And how's he gonna distribute the inheritance, and he's the only person remaining? You know, he said, فبينما هم كذلك. When they're at this time, هم كذلك إذا سمعوا ببأس هو أكبر من ذلك. They heard they're gonna hear of something that's way worse than what they're dealing with. فجاءهم الصريخ. A person screaming is going to come to them. إن الدجال قد خلفهم في ذراريرهم. That the Dajjal has beaten them, has gotten to their families. Now here it says that the family here is dead. So what are they talking about?
Is it like when the shayateen, they shapeshift into...
No, it's talking about the women and children. Because the men are going out to fight. All the men had to leave the fight. So he's the only man left in the family. But the women are still remaining. There's still women and there's still children. What did you talking about?
Because don't the jinn...
No, I'm talking about, he said families. And I told you that 99 people of his family were fighting, only one remained. So how is he in their families? But it's talking about what? The women and the children. Because they left the women and the children. Obviously they're not going out to fight. So أن الدجال قال خلفهم في ضراريرهم فيرفضون ما في أيديهم. So then they're just like basically whatever they have in their hands, what? They just throw it down. They don't care about it because like right now that's not even the time for that. All that stuff's worthless right now. فيرفضون ما في أيديهم ويقبلون. And then they set out. فيبعثون عشرة فوارس طليعة. And then they send out 10 horsemen. That they're going to go on horseback. These 10, they're going to go to in front of the group to do what? So طليعة, what does that mean, huh? To scout. Yeah, they're going to go out and scout and see what the situation is before the whole army goes. So they're making sure they don't walk into like an ambush and get slaughtered. Yeah. Huh? Well, wait. Yeah. No, the army, the whole army is the khayr al-nas. But these are the khayr al-fawaris. Yeah. So he said, ويقبلون فيبعثون عشرة فوارس طليعة. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إني لأعرف أسماءهم وأسماء آبائهم وألوان خيولهم. He said, right now, he said, I know their names, and I know the names of their fathers, and I know the color of their horses. هم خير فوارس على ظهر الأرض يومئذ. He said that they are the best of all the
horsemen.
Well, it's not horsemen. What's the proper name? Equestrians or something? What's the proper word for people that ride horses?
Horsemen.
No, it's like equestrians or something like that, right? Comment section, answer the question. Inshallah. All right. So they're the best horse riders on the face of the earth during those days. قال ابن أبي شيبة في رواية عن أسير بن جابر. All right. Another hadith.
I just let you know it's 9:45.
Yes. Now this is Sahih Muslim.
9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9:45. 9 Equestrian.
Somebody said it.
Mm-hmm.
You looked it up or what?
No, someone said it.
Where?
Second last comment.
Oh, okay, yes.
Just
Equestrian, yeah. It's a person that rides horses. Yeah. You thought I was lying to you?
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't sure that was the right word, but I mean, I was pretty sure. Yeah.
that horse.
All right. This is the last hadith. We're going to read this and then we're going to go, inshallah. All right. There's another thing that we need to go over, which is very important. We got to, well, I don't know. There's not too many hadith about the Yajooj Majooj. But I think we need to talk about that because there's some misguided individual that seems to think that Yajooj Majooj is zombies or some stupid stuff like this. So we might have to deal with that a little bit later on. No, let's not. Let's not mention the names of crybabies. Because crybabies they get your YouTube channel blocked. But there's one of those misguided individuals, Allahu Musta'an, that got out and said that Yajooj Majooj was zombies. So we might have to talk about that on another night. But here, so this is hadith number 2900. حدثنا قتيبة بن سعيد حدثنا جرير عن عبد الملك ابن عمير عن جابر بن سمرة عن نافع بن عتبة قال كنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في غزوة قال فأتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قوم من قبل المغرب. So these are people that came from the west. Now this is not talking about al-Maghrib like Morocco, but from the west of the Arabian Peninsula. All right, so when they talk about min qibl al-Maghrib, it's not talking about Morocco. All right, min qibl al-Maghrib alayhim thiyab al-suf, and they were wearing cotton clothing. فوافقوه عند am I reading the right thing here? فوافقوه عند أكمة فإنهم لقيام. All right, فوافقوه عند أكمة. You got the hadith?
I'm reading the comments.
Huh?
I'm reading the comments.
No, because I'm trying to see, because I didn't, I don't know what that is. I got to look that up. Is it talking about the sleeves or talking about what? I need to check that, inshallah. He said, فَإِنَّهُمْ لَقِيَامٌ وَرَسُولُ, and they're standing وَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ قَاعِدٌ, and he's sitting. قَالَ فَقَالَتْ لِنَفْسِي ائتهم, and he said, myself said, what? Go to them. فَقُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَهُ, and stand between them and him. لَا يَقْتَالُونَهُ what? That they're not coming to assassinate him. Because the Prophet ﷺ was sitting and they were standing, so he said, go and stand between them and him. So to protect the Prophet ﷺ, so these people, they can't assassinate him. Alright, so he said, what? لا يقتالونه, and this is قال ثم قلت لعله نجي معهم. Here it says what? نجي معهم أي يناجيهم. I mean he's gonna talk to them what? What is يناجيهم?
Oh, private car.
He's having a private conversation with him, yeah. فأتيت, so he said ثم قلت لعله نجي معهم. They might be having like a private conversation, so he didn't want to go and disrupt it. He said, فَأَتَيْتُهُمْ فَقُمْتُ بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ. So he said, but I stood up and I went and I stood between them. قَالَ فَحَفِظْتُ مِنْهُ أَرْبَعَ كَلِمَاتٍ, and I memorized 4 things from him. أَعُدَّهُنَّ فِي يَدِي. He said, I counted them on my hands. قَالَ تَغْزُونَ جَزِيرَةَ الْعَرَبِ فَيَفْتَحُهَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ فَارِسْ فَيَفْتَحُهَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ تَغْزُونَ الرُّومَ فَيَفْتَحُهَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ تَغْزُونَ الدَّجَّالَ فَيَفْتَحُهُ اللَّهُ. So he said that you're going to fight over the Jazirat al-Arab, the Arabian Peninsula, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to open it up for you, like give you control of it. And he said then you're going to fight the Persians, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to what? Give you the victory. They're going to give you control of their lands. Thumma taghzuna Rum, and then you'll be fighting against the Romans, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you victory over them and over what they control. Thumma taghzuna Dajjal, and then you'll fight against the Dajjal, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you victory over him and his army. قال فقال نافع يا جابر لا نرى الدجال يخرج حتى تفتح الروم. He said that we don't see that the Dajjal is going to come out until Romans are what? Is defeated. Like they're completely defeated. And obviously they're not, this is not the defeat of Rome, the original, but the final defeat of Rome. Because we see that's from the other hadith. What happens after the fighting stopped? That's when the Dajjal came out. Because now the people are in the most weakened state now. The most weakened state. So
Is there a hadith that mentions of Yajooj and Majooj, if they're gonna kill anyone or they're just gonna
kill everybody.
even Muslims or?
Everybody.
Oh.
They don't have no concern about what religion you are.
Mm.
They kill everybody. But there is something that I want people to think about for tomorrow. Inshallah, if we go over these hadiths for Yajooj Majooj tomorrow. And now, he said what? He said, yes, sir. No, he's Mr. Al-Faldi, not Al-Qadi. He's not a Qadi.
He's not even Muslim.
Saying that the people...
He said the Quran is messed up, and he says he said a lot of crazy stuff.
I'm saying, but they take that to the ulama. Take that issue to the ulama and let the ulama make that hukum. That's not for us, man. We open that door of awam making takfir. No, that's a fitna. And wallahi, the results of it is not beautiful. If what happened when the awam started making takfir of people, what did that become? A khawarij. When they started feeling like now they could just make takfir. No, take that back to the people of knowledge and let them make that hukum. And then you can go back and say Sheikh Fulan said this and Sheikh Fulan said that. They can make that hukum. Because they're going to look at, the whole situation in its entirety. So it's better to stay away from that. But yeah, inshallah, but what I want the people to think about is what? Where are Yajooj and Majooj?
Allah.
Huh? No, but I'm saying, like, I know Allahu A'lam, akhi, but I'm just saying, I'm not expecting an answer from you. But I'm saying I expect you to at least put some thought into this, because why? Look at the number of Yajooj and Majooj to the number of humans.
Is it like 999?
No, look it up.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would assume they're like in the Himalayas.
They're not no Himalayas, dude.
Hey, I'm saying if I have to guess.
You were guessing so bad, akhi.
Then where?
Where'd you get the answer from? The
No,
crackhead
it's
that was
because
in...
the Himalayas is so big. I think it's like the biggest mountain range on the planet.
Yeah, you're gonna hide what? 100 billion people in there?
100. Or maybe Antarctica.
Hiding in igloos.
You guys, I'm kicking y'all out, man. You guys are gonna join Chicken Fingers and his family.
He said Yajooj and Majooj maybe hiding in igloos in Antarctica.
Hey, the Antarctica idea, I wouldn't sit here and laugh about that too much. Huh? You still laughing?
Because igloos. They got mass murderers just living in igloos.
Man, I'll tell you, boy, we gotta deal with one here and one here. We're losing, man. I'm gonna have to look it up because
I'm gonna kill you. He lives in an igloo.
Why'd you get him started, man? You started this. So yeah, but think about it. There's like it's the hadith about the but it is the hadith about the 999. For every min kulli alf, what? 999 people are gonna go to Jahannam. All right, so only one person out of every 1,000. So all right, then that hadith, the Prophet ﷺ did mention the hadith of Yajooj and Majooj. So look it up. Huh? Yeah, they need to go. Because they can't laugh about somebody online not taking something serious if they're not taking it seriously. So that doesn't work. You look up the hadith about the Thawr. Just look up, من كل ألف تسعمية وتسعة وتسعون في النار. Look up that hadith. This I don't know the hadith, but it says, and somebody put this in the comment section, but you have to look up the actual hadith. It says, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من يعجوج ومعجوج 999 ومنكم واحد. So for every 999 of Yajooj Majooj, there's going to be what? One of us. So what? Like, go figure that out. You're going to hide what? 100 billion people in the Himalayas.
Maybe.
Huh?
Like,
No, they said these dudes aren't cockroaches, akhi. Huh?
But they're locked up though.
They're not. Who said they're locked up?
Surah Al-Kahf, right?
Who said they're locked up?
When Dhul Qarnayn,
He built a wall, but they're not locked up. They're just behind a wall.
yeah, that means like that's what I mean by locked up.
Well, does that mean that the wall's right inside of this part of the dunya that we live in? They're blocked out from this dunya. If they're in the Himalayas, then that means they're within this where we're at, right?
We say, look, they're not in the dunya.
They are in the dunya, but they're not in the part where we're living. They got locked out of it. That was the whole point. They used to come in and start to cause all this fasad fil ard and kill people. So the whole point was to build that wall to keep them from coming into this part of the dunya. So that's why I said Antarctica is not as mustabad as you think it is. You might be laughing, but you're not going to be laughing later on because Antarctica is not all it's not all ice anyways. The ice is only the front part of it. Antarctica inside is all like rivers and mountains and all this type of stuff. And they've already gone in, and when they went to go do those discoveries in Antarctica in 1920, go look it up. And they found land beyond Antarctica. They found it. And they announced this. This is the American Navy announced it. And that's when they signed that treaty that nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica. Go look that stuff up too. They found that they said that there's a continent beyond the Arctic wall. There's a wall, an ice wall, like an ice shelf. It's like a 200-foot ice wall. So they had to literally take the people up and put them up by cranes on a boat, and they had to put them up on the ice wall. And those people went exploring, and they went all the way beyond the ice, all the way to the end. And they said that we saw a continent that was the size of North America that has never been discovered. Nobody's ever seen this continent. Admiral Byrd, go look it up in the videos on YouTube. You can see it for yourself. They brought this out in TV when TV was black and white. And they said this, so it's not mustabad.
Have they gone back since?
No, after they went back and they did one more mission, and that was the last mission they did, and that was it. Admiral Byrd never spoke about it again, and then nobody was ever allowed to go back to Antarctica. That's it. They signed that treaty. Look when they signed the Antarctic Treaty. Look at what year.
You can get in trouble if you go there?
Yeah, you get arrested and shot if you don't. If you go up trying to explore, and they tell you to stop, you better stop. They'll kill you. Huh?
هذا ينادين يعني تسأل ليش بس قالوا يعني هم يروحون على الأقل.
What's that?
مثلا يقول يعني ليش يريدون كده يعني.
What happened to the live? What happened to the? Oh, is the live stream still going? Oh, I guess I turned it off on accident.
It says December 1st, 1959.
1959. Now go type in when Admiral Byrd's missions were. What year his missions were? It's BYRD, not bird like a bird, like BIBY. Go look at his interview on TV. And that was it, boy. When he went back, he said, we're going to go back and we'll do one more mission. He never spoke again. Never spoke again. You find it.
I mean, I'm just getting it.
Just type in Admiral Byrd's missions to Antarctica. What year?
It says 1940 to 1941.
1940 to 1941, right? Those were his missions. And they signed that Arctic Treaty, what?
World War II?
Well, yeah, close to World War II, yeah.
This is during World War II.
نضربها بالناس
Yeah, because World War II ended in 45. Yeah, the establishment of the United Nations was in 45.
What even is Antarctica? It's just a big frozen ice rock or what?
No, there's land. There's a whole bunch of
It's all
land
frozen
beyond.
though?
No,
Oh.
it's not all frozen. It's only frozen in the front. It's all like they said. There's like rivers and everything.
It's just a little wall all around it.
Might be like animals we've never seen before over there, like different kinds of animal species.
Something they haven't flown like a helicopter.
But you really think they haven't? They did, just not telling us.
I didn't say it's Antarctica, Hamid or Hamid. I said that they said that there's land beyond Antarctica.
Yeah, but they're kuffar, so how can we trust them? But they're kuffar, so how can we trust them? Because they're the same ones that say.
Well, you're the ones talking about they're in the Himalayas, Akhi.
No, we say because the Himalayas,
these-
anyone can explore the
And these dumb
Himalayas.
Ikhwanis running around talking about it's the Chinese people. Yeah, the Chinese people, because what, they're 1 billion, Akhi? Come on, so what now? It's the Indians now? Because I think the Indians now outnumber the Chinese.
1.4 billion.
So now what? Now they're going to change the, no, we made a mistake. It wasn't the Chinese. Now it's the Indians. Come on, please, man. They're not among us. They don't live here because they got locked out of here. You know? So what? You fine, what are you?
Oh no, I was just looking up what Antarctica is. I thought I always got Antarctica and Alaska mixed up.
I mean, it depends on what your belief is, right? So if your belief is that we live on a globe, right? You're like, this is your belief, right? And we're not going to go into this in detail. I'm just saying, this is the belief of the people that say that the earth is a globe. That Antarctica is just this big chunk of land way at the bottom of the globe. It's a very big circle and it's surrounded by an ice wall. Okay, tight. The people that believe that the earth is flat, they believe that we have this land and there's an ice wall that's surrounding all this land, and beyond that ice wall there's a whole bunch of other land that has not been discovered and is not known. And that's why when Admiral Byrd came out, and like I said, this was in, if you go look at the interview, you see it, it's in the 1940s, it's in black and white. It's not like this is like, some interview that he did on Oprah Winfrey or something like this TV show last year. This was way back, when he was speaking about this on TV. So for him to speak so openly about that, that's one thing. He's an admiral. And, obviously these admirals, they're scripted. Their talk, whatever, they're going to tell the people what they're allowed to say. And it's going to be very, very scripted. And he's going to only give out enough information because, it's all of that stuff is going to be private anyways. Because like I say, you can't go. Even if you go to visit Antarctica right now, you can only visit the front part. And there's like a little designated section that you can visit. You can't go here, you can't go there. If you try to go off of that spot, it's like soldiers from every single country in the nation, every country in the world. They have soldiers there protecting that. And if you go any further, they're going to kill you. They're going to shoot you down. Because one person, he tried to do that. He tried to go in and he got caught by armed soldiers.
They killed him?
No, they didn't kill him, but they couldn't, because he stopped. He's no, okay. He surrendered, but they put him in jail. So because you're violating international law. This is if you look it up right now, imagine this right now, that this is the only treaty in the whole world that's still standing that all of the countries of the world have agreed on. You do not go here. Nobody. Imagine that. So what's there? What is so important? So like I said, man, you get.
So the flat earth people, they believe that you can't go around it or nothing?
No.
Because it's just.
There's an ice wall around the whole world. And that's why the people who believe in the flat earth, which I'm kind of like, I wish the people would accept this challenge because it'd be a nice challenge. Because the flat earth people say what? The ice wall, it goes around what we know of this part of the earth, which is like all the different 7 continents and all this type of stuff in the oceans. They say it's very simple. If you say that they're wrong and they're liars, get in a boat, and go around the ice wall. And if it ends, khalas, put a flag right where you started. And if you go all the way around and you come back to that flag, and guess what? Then they're right, you're wrong.
That means it's a globe, or it's...
Yeah, because that means that you went around in a big circle. No, that it's not a globe, that the earth is flat. because you just went around in a big circle. Because the ice wall, they're saying, is surrounding this land. You know, this land of like all the 7 continents are within this ice wall. And then beyond that ice wall, then there's other lands.
So we're in the middle.
Yeah, we're in the middle. And then there's more land beyond this.
So
You
like
know,
China, Africa, and everywhere.
all of that's within this ice wall.
And then beyond that is
Whatever.
So what they think there is.
999 billion people.
I think it's just like.
Because you got to think about it. You know, what does the Quran say about Yajooj Majooj? وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. What does that mean? Go look it up. Cause you know, you memorize these ayat, but you don't understand what they mean, right? Look it up.
I'm a festive.
No, but I'm saying you should understand this. Look it up and watch, you'll see.
صدق كنت بقول لك يعني أكيد بعد ما المسيح الدجال يعني يغلب اليجوج وماجوج يخرجون يعني أكيد لو عدد الإنس ما بيكون.
Like my little brother's
Yeah,
telling me, and I think he might be alone. Assalamu
Here, I'll look.
alaikum. From what time to what time? Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Yeah, myself.
All right, here we go. And this is the last name. So إذا حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. What does he say? I'll go right now. Let me change the tafsir. Said الحدب what? المكان المرتفع, like a raised place. So basically, look at like how this is, how they say. This is the earth, right? And this is the ice, the little raised up. Because all throughout Antarctica is what? It's all mountains, right? When you go inside, it's all mountains. So let's entertain the idea for a second that this is true. All right.
The earth's flat or round?
Yeah, that it's flat. That they're saying the truth. That there's a big ice wall. Behind that ice wall, you have land all around this. And this land is Yajooj Majooj. Let's just say. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ what? يَنْسِلُونَ. That they're going to be coming down from every direction, from every raised place. They're just going to come down. And once that wall is opened, so that wall is not just like a little gap, a little wall, right? It's got to be, because they're going to be coming down from every single raised place. They're surrounding the whole world. They're going to be coming down like that. So how is that? Himalayas? Come on, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, no.
But what about the ocean?
And that's in the Quran.
So how are they gonna get through the ocean? The Atlantic Ocean.
What do you think? They don't know how boats work,
I
Akhi?
think they're just like, aren't they like, don't they got the minds of like 6-year-olds?
6-year-old can get in a boat.
Or like build one and make it sail and.
So يشربون الماء.
They're not gonna drink the ocean water though. They're gonna be drinking the lakes and stuff like that. But because the ocean water is gonna kill them. They're human beings. They're not zombies like this guy said. They're humans. It's a tribe of humans, but they were just, because they were causing so much chaos that the people went to the Quran and said, just build a wall, lock them out of, like, just keep them away from us. So that's why you see they're not in this area where we're at. So but that's when they come down. They're gonna come down from Kul Hadab, every single from all directions.
So are they alive right now?
Yeah.
Can you see us?
No. They're trying to dig. And they're trying to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, remember when he said, وَيْلٌ لِلْعَرَبِ مِنَ الشَّرَ الَّذِي اقْتَرَبَ. Look up the hadith of, I think it's hadith of Zainab. Look it up. Just type in وَيْلٌ لِلْعَرَبِ. You'll find the hadith. It should come right up. You find it?
1 second.
I gotta do this stuff myself, man.
You gave me like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's more than long enough, man, to type.
Less
Come
than
on.
5 seconds.
See, I told you, I found it like that.
Yeah, I found it too.
Yeah, but I found it before you.
No, I already found it like before you said that.
What are you talking about? I'm already on the website for the Hadith. Huh. Read it. I'll read it because, yeah, Hadith Zainab. radiallahu anha. So she said, أنا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم استيقظ من نومه وهو يقول لا إله إلا الله ويل للعرب من شر قد اقترب فتح اليوم من ردم يعجوج ومعجوج مثل هذه وعقد سفيان بيده 10 وقلت يا رسول الله أنحلك وفينا الصالحون قال نعم إذا كثر الخبث. Alright, so he said what? He said, wake up everybody. Right? He said, he woke up from his sleep and he said, La ilaha illallah. He said, woe to the Arabs from evil that's coming close, from the evil that's coming close. He said, Futiha al-yawm min radmi Yajooj Majooj. So now, like a gap was opened up, like a gap was opened up in the place where they're digging, right, where they're behind that wall. Because every time, what's the thing about this wall, right? Every time they dig, what happens the next day? Huh?
Regenerates.
It regenerates.
That's the word, right?
I mean, it doesn't regenerate, but they come back and they found out that everything that they dug has been what? It's back to what it was before, right?
So regenerated.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I guess that would be like ice, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. They're digging the wall itself. Now you telling me right now that Dhul Qarnayn, he built this big steel wall, and you can't see this anywhere in this dunya. Where is it? No, I'm saying, where is it? So obviously it's not. No, I'm saying, look,
Probably didn't know.
people have discovered they've gone, like, you got, like, like, I remember one time when a brother told me, he said, man, we have to thank Allah for you white folks. He said, because if it wasn't for you white folks, we wouldn't know anything about this earth, right? Who's going to go to, like, the Amazon and say, I want to go see this stupid beetle in the Amazon? It's white people, right? White people try to discover every single thing. Anywhere that's, like, never been discovered before. You got, people, like, it became a trend before the COVID thing where people were, like, they got tired of living in cities. So what were they doing? They're buying sailboats and going all through all the different islands in the Pacific and they were sailing to all these islands and, like, detailing their journeys. And you can find, all these videos all over the place. So you're telling me now that you couldn't see a big iron wall? Huge. I mean, you're talking about this wall is huge, Akhi. Where is it? So, I mean, it's not around here. It's not where we're at, because, I mean, they would have found that by now.
What's this iron wall?
This is the one that Dhul Qarnayn built. He'll talk about it. He'll tell you about it, inshallah. Surah Al-Kahf. So there you go. Where is it? Come on, Akhi. You can see
If the Prophet didn't know, I would have.
I'm saying, you can see the Chinese, the Great Wall of China from the satellite, right? So, you don't think that this wall is not bigger than that to keep 999 billion people behind it? So, I mean, just use your mind a little bit. It's not, I mean, whatever it is not here. They're not here. They're not zombies. They're not meth heads. They're not, because that's probably going to be the next thing. Oh, it's these guys smoking crystal meth. They're going to become zombies, and that's Yajooj Majooj. So, yeah, man, do your research. But come with something. Inshallah, we'll try to go over some of those hadith tomorrow, inshallah. Any questions before we go? It's your last opportunity.
Says...
He said, hold on, because he said, Hamza, ask him if you're reading this. Nobody's reading anything because I got them researching everything all over Google right now. What's the question?
From Muslimin Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen says, what is the ruling on a grandfather cutting his kinship with his son because his son gave his daughter away to a man without consulting him?
Again?
Like, what's the ruling of a grandfather cutting connection with his own son because his own son decided to give his daughter away to a person without consulting the grandfather?
He shouldn't cut his kinship off with him. That's not, but the thing is the father should have, he didn't know that was going to happen.
I'm just going based off the question. But more than likely, yeah, he didn't know it was going to happen.
You're going to have to try to fix and do his best to fix that situation with his father then.
What's the ruling? Is it haram or is it halal?
The grandfather, like the father has the right. It depends on the situation and the customs of the people. If he went against the customs of the people, which caused his grandfather to do that, then he needs to make tawbah and he needs to go back and apologize. If it's not from their customs and the grandfather's just angry over nothing, then still try to fix the situation, but the grandfather needs to fear Allah. So it depends on what the situation is. I don't know who the people are, what their customs are, so...
So the father tried contacting him, but he didn't respond and he knew about it.
Just, you do the best to keep the contact with him and keep the ties of kinship with him, even if he cuts it off from you, that's on him. That's not on you. The same thing with your own family. If they don't want to act right with you, that's on them. But you still got to do what you have to do,
So the grandfather he would be getting a major sin.
Hmm?
So the grandfather would be getting a major sin.
He's got no reason to cut off the contact, assuming that this is not from their customs.
So what is a good reason to cut off connection with a family member?
There's no good reason.
So the grandfather would be committing a major sin.
Yeah.
Even if he's going against the customs.
Because there's no. If there are no customs, if there's customs, and the father made a mistake, then that's on him. But whatever the case may be, just keep the connections with the grandfather. That's on the grandfather. That's not on you.
So if someone has a sister and she's like she doesn't wear hijab at all, she shows her face and she has a boyfriend, can a brother cut off connection with his son? With his sister even after he advised her?
Why would he do that though? It's your family. You keep advising her. It's your family. You keep advising other people and other friends that you have that might be doing things that are worse than her. So you wouldn't cut them off. You keep advising them. People are more patient with friends than they are with family, aren't they? It should be the opposite. You're supposed to be more patient with your family than you are with friends. So I can choose my friends, right? So by choice, I can just say, you know what? This dude's not acting right. I'm not going to be friends with him. But I can't choose a family. Yeah. So you got to be patient with your family. You got to keep those connections.
Maybe by cutting off connection for a while, maybe this would help bring back the sisters.
You're not cutting off connections. You can just not talk to her. As a form of but there has to be a benefit for that. That has to bring about some type of benefit. If not talking to her is going to make her get worse, then it's better to advise her and be patient with her. That doesn't mean that you have to sit here and enjoy what she's doing and partake in it, but you keep advising her and keep informing her, because if you might be the only person telling her that this is haram. And maybe she doesn't wake up now, but she wakes up later, Maybe 10 years from now, it just finally sinks in. Who knows? She's family. You don't cut off family like that.
And they said, did Aisha do this with Abdullah ibn Zubayr?
That's a different issue, though.
That's it? You said one question.
I said any question, any important questions.
Hamid Jamal says, I asked what a student of knowledge must have a specific book to read all the time, but you didn't mention any aqidah. Is there any wisdoms to this?
What's that?
I asked...
I'm playing with my knife, because he doesn't show me something new. Okay, I can't get around it. Go ahead. My son showed me. Let me see. Where's your knife at?
I left it in the house.
You left it in the house. You didn't bring yours. Because I'll show you something my son found out how to open that quickly. Very nice. But go ahead.
Mine doesn't.
No. I'll show you, man. Just bring the knife.
Hamid Jamal says, I asked about what a student of knowledge must have a specific book to read all the time, but you didn't mention any aqidah. Is there any wisdoms to this?
You talking about my Telegram post, or what are you talking about?
I don't know.
Well, answer.
In the Telegram.
He said that. He said in Telegram.
That's what he just said.
I don't know. I was in a hurry. There was no There was no reason for that. See, the thing is like, which book would you choose? All right, if you had one book of Aqidah that you had to go back to, actually, come on, that's a hard.
شرح العقيدة الواسطية.
No, there's a one book to go back to. You serious?
the عقيدة الطحاوية.
No.
أبي العز. Or كتاب الشريعة.
You know, yeah, Sharia, something with change the narrations from the Salaf. You want the actual narrations. You want, so Sharia, Ibn Battah's book, Lalakai's book, something like that, something of that nature. One of those books, that's going to be your main book that you go back to. But see, the thing about it is, as I mentioned, like Sunan Abi Dawud is the book of Hadith that you go back to. Where are you getting your Tawheed and Aqidah from? You get it from the Quran and you get it from the Sunnah, right? So if you're talking about now just something extra where you're going back to the statements of the Salaf about all these different issues, yeah, you go back to the books that have the narrations in them. Like these other books like the Tahawiyah, Wasatiyah, this is for you to understand it. Once you understand it, you go back, you get your knowledge from books that would change the narrations. That you can actually see the narration, you can see the chain, and you can see the statement from the Salaf. Anything else?
I think Nali Hassan says.
See, give me a piece of paper. Give me a piece of paper. Where's the piece of paper? I'm gonna show you how sharp this thing is. Gotta be a big piece of paper, man. I ain't trying to cut my finger, man.
From my book.
You got a notebook? Yeah, give me a piece of paper from you. Nah, Sharh Sunan Imam al-Barbahari, no. There's no change in narrations. That's not, no. If I had to choose between the Sharh of Aqidat al-Tahawiyah from Ibn al-Izz and al-Barbahari, I'm taking the Sharh of al-Tahawiyah. Yes. Look at that. Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. This one, I think I dulled it up from cutting too much. But normally, it would just slice. I think that's the other one that was sharper. It just sliced right through the paper, man. But I mean, this one, like that, look at that. You see how that? You see that? Look at that. See how nice? Imagine that's somebody's cheek. Just like that. You see how easy that just look how clean that is. Look at that. That's razor. That's no joke, man. Thank you for the beautiful people of Indonesia for my favorite toy now. Our favorite toy, because you got one too, yes.
That's it.
I don't know, are there any more questions?
Nabi Hassan says, I don't understand the difference between sanad and isnad. How do I use each term when talking about chains of narration?
Same thing. Sanad, isnad, same thing.
You said the same thing?
Says the swords the Yemenis wear in their attire is real. They're not swords. It's called a jambia. And yes, they are real. They stab people with them all the time in Yemen. You'll see this in Yemen a lot whenever they get into an argument and that jambia comes out. So they have a saying in Yemen. They say if you pull the jambia out, you can't put it back unless it's with blood on it. So this is like they're saying, right? But they get in fights with those jambias all the time, and it's not a beautiful sight. Not a beautiful sight. I saw one dude got killed in Ramadan bringing the guy. This is right, 30 minutes before Iftar, Akhi. The guy had on a white thobe, and it was all blood, Akhi, from the collar all the way down. It was just full of blood, right? I'm walking and I saw the guy. I saw the police with the guy. I'm like, man, that must have been one fight, boy. Then I'm thinking about it, I was like, nah, there ain't no fight, because anybody lost that much blood ain't alive no more. As soon as I got around the corner, a dead body on the ground. The police went and got him and took him, but they left the body, Dude stabbed the guy to death over a bag of karachi, right 30 minutes before Maghrib, man. Literally, man, I hopped on the bus, went right up the street to home and started eating dates and break my fast.
And they swear that pot is in drugs.
He killed him over a bag of car, akhi. Over a bag of car.
I think Welton was outside.
That's it. That's it, because you guys got some research to do. Go research Antarctica, huh?
Igloos.
طيب يلا هون سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك